I want to talk about situational awareness. Situational awareness, well, the term already says it. You're aware in a situation. Now, too many people link situational awareness with bearing arms because they think, hey, you need to be able to defend yourself in case danger happens, so bear some arms. Or people say, well, you need to be able to call the cops as soon as possible, especially in people think like this in countries where you're not allowed to bear arms. But both approaches, you need to carry arms. Others say, no, just call the cops. Both are wrong. Situational awareness shouldn't be something you only have in a specific situation. Situational awareness should be the norm of how you operate. For example, let's say you go to the supermarket. How many people, before they arrive at the supermarket, they look around? They check the street to see if they see anything suspicious or anything off. Now, most people just say, oh, I need to go to the supermarket, or let me walk to the supermarket, or maybe I need to take the bus, or I go with the car. They arrive there, get out of transportation, and they just enter the supermarket. When they enter the supermarket, they check, they pick up a basket, they go in, put in their groceries, pay them, and leave. It's like a routine. But in that supermarket, there may be a gunman ready to cause a massacre. Now, are you aware before arriving at a supermarket that there's going to be a gunman over there ready to shoot some folks? No. Could you have known that? No. Absolutely not. But you do have what you call the intuition or the inner radar. So let's say you're on the way to the supermarket. You may feel heavy while going to the supermarket. You may feel uncomfortable, like as if it's better not to go. That's your intuition hinting to you that there's something off with the location you're going at. Now, you can decree, declare, and pray, sending peace ahead of you, and still go. Or, if your peace comes back and pushes you to not go there, you don't go. Now, you don't know what's over there, but at least you know you better not go there. Or let's say now you enter into a cafe. Now, you don't know those other people in that cafe. You're just there to get some coffee or whatever. But what if there's a fight ready to break out with people throwing chairs and all of that? Could you have known that that was about to happen? No. But you could have felt ahead of time there was some dark tension over there. Because those human beings were upset and were ready to take it out there in the cafe. They were carrying that negativity with them. So their energy fields were emitting negativity into the Earth's atmosphere. And you are capable of picking up the negative emissions they're giving off. So from a distance, before you even arrive at the cafe, you already feel like, it's a bit weird over here. You know, better not go over there. How many people pay attention to their intuition? Look, when you pay attention to your intuition, you are able to be ahead of misfortune and tragedy. And by being ahead of it, it does not harm you. And you're able to also rescue others before the tragedy hits, before the misfortune takes place. So that even when the tragedy occurs, it doesn't have the amount of harm it would have had if you were not around. What I'm saying is that too often we react after the fact instead of responding when we get the warning signal. Because there are warning signals all the time, but we are not sensitive enough to pick up the warning signals. And because we're not sensitive enough, we end up trapped in the bad situation we could have easily avoided. About that Buffalo shooting that happened in New York, that one guy, I believe it was a guy, I may be wrong, he felt like he had to go. And he left, and after leaving, the gunman began to shoot. What about all those other people? They had an intuition too. Did they pay attention to intuition? Likely not. And that got them killed. So understand this. You cannot prevent every danger out there on the earth. No. What you can do is be ahead of danger and shut down danger ahead of time. And that's what we need to do more often as believers. And by now, many of us are not doing this. Many of us are just walking into bad situations, despite warning signals pressuring on us that we need to either take another route or we need to do things a different way. We just walk right into a situation, and then when we hit the wall or we hit the conflict, we think, oh my God, what goes on here? Now we're in shock. What do we do? What do we do? And then more time is wasted. We're also being stressed out. So by the time we're out of the situation, we're worse off and we suffered unnecessary losses. And also often those around us suffered with us. No. It shouldn't be like this. You have to learn to be ahead of things. That's something I had to learn. So I'm not looking down on any of you over here. We all have to learn this. Be ahead of things. And here's another thing. When human beings notice that you are ahead of things, that's going to frighten them. So if people are so-called difficult towards you, suddenly they'll start being difficult towards you. Suddenly they'll treat you properly. Why? Because they know there are consequences if they meditate negative upon you. Now, does that mean now you need to trust them again and forget about all they've done? No. It simply means that now they realize they can't get away with being negative against you. So they, out of necessity, they have to cool down or they need to walk away. Because this is what you need to understand. Society is as loyal as its options. If society has the option to victimize you by ventilating their unrest on you, they'll do it. And they won't lose any sleep at night. But if you have the resurrection part of Christ working through you, and things keep backfiring onto them and haunting them, they know how to quit. Suddenly. Think about ancient Egypt and Moses. The only reason why Egypt eventually surrendered and cooperated because they had no choice. Well, that's how society is in general. So I've learned this, that when people are difficult towards you, that's because they think they're entitled to ventilate unrest on someone, and they see you as an option to get away with ventilating on you. Now the public is aware what they're doing. The public is in on it because public thinks, well, as long as they're ventilating on Rashid and not on me, I'm fine. So the public even joined them. But once the public sees the repercussions haunting them, suddenly they're going to be terrified of Rashid, thinking, oh my God, how can Rashid be so powerful? Well, I walk in resurrection power, that's it. What I'm putting out to you is that society is as loyal as its options. So don't expect the best from society, because society only acts at its best when it has to. As simple as that. So, instead of reacting to bad situations by either trying to defend yourself, which will backfire, or by just swallowing the harm, instead of all of that, why not be ahead of bad situations? We're capable of being ahead of things and shutting things down. That's how we need to function as believers. Any other way is us putting ourselves and others at risk. Well, that's it for now. Keep on praying with Christ, be at peace, and I'll see you next time.